guys. So pretty much we got the fuselage of the top flight P51D Mustang pretty much all primered out. Oops. And so the only thing we got to do from here is basically sand her down, get her all nice and smooth. Everything looks good after you block it down. Then we can go ahead and just start laying out the panel lines, start measuring and running all the panel lines. And once we get that done, primer it again. Right when we primer it, do a wet sand real quick, and then we start doing the remove all the panel line tape. And so as you can see right now, we got the wing. So far it is completely dried, so I went ahead and just started wet sanding. And we got the front portion right now of the fuse pretty much wet sanded. So far I only have done from here to there. We still need the rest. Well, I'll put it the other side of the wing over there. But it is what it is. It's as smooth as a baby's bottom, according to Frank Washburn from Frank's Model Aviation Workshop. But yeah, it's smooth. So I wet sand this with 320 grit and then ended up with 400. Basically is laying out all these panel lines. Okay, so go ahead and lay it down on the side, and you're gonna see some of the pencil lines that are made already. I'm using in conjunction with tape, because we're using the tape to make the straight lines. Okay, so we'll basically place the tape in its respective area, location. I am not basically taking this and converting it to the 1/7 scale. What I'm doing is I'm looking and eyeballing it and going based off different markers off of this. So I started off with this line right here all the way, because it's basically almost touching the horizontal stabilizer. It's basically in line with that leading edge. And if you look at the kit, this is where the sheeting basically attaches to the side of the fuselage sheeting. And so that line is already there. And it's just a slight bit off, but higher than that. So what I did was I just went ahead and followed that. So I placed my tape on that line, and then I marked it in with a pencil. And then from every other line from there, I eyeballed the spacing, and then I just placed the masking tape down. Okay, so all this is just it's just eyeball. As long as it looks like it's in the right area based off of this, then I'm fine. Now, if you do want to go ahead and get the proper scale, then you would take basically the drawing, provided that you know what this drawing scale is, so that you can do the conversion to the scale that you're trying to up it to. There's some YouTube videos online that basically can teach you how to do that. And then we will continue where I left off, because I had to run and go pick up my daughter from school, so I had to stop. Alright, and so from here, okay, that will go down like that, and then up. Gotcha. Too easy. Okay, so this one is kind of like in an angle, slight angle. And then we'll take the pencil. We'll just draw that line there. And I'm not pushing hard down, I'm just rubbing that pencil lid there. Because you don't want to push too hard, because then you either poke through the fiberglass. I don't want to do that. Okay, that's how that one goes. If you can see it. Alright. Cool. Looks good, looks good. Alright, so we're at, we got that. And yeah, so far we're doing good, we're doing good. Now, eventually, I'm going to go off of this side and get the measurements from certain points, and we'll also utilize when it wraps around to the opposite side, and we'll kind of all connect it together and duplicate it on the opposite side. But first we got to do one side. Sometimes you can work on both sides at the same time, kind of do this side and then automatically go the other side. But in this case, I want to make sure I got everything done on one side first, and then get all the measurements and then transfer it over to the other. All right. So we got all the panel lines pretty much mapped out on the fuselage. So we got as much as I could. Actually, this is all based off of the back of the manual. This one. So everything that you see here in the fuselage, minus the panels, the little panel type deals. I haven't done that yet, but I will be doing that. So all that right there has been transferred over to the actual model. Okay. So there we go. Alright. It is what it is. What I'm going to do right now is basically wipe down the model. Oh, I forgot. I gotta cover that with masking tape. Yeah, other than that, that's what we got going on. Let me go and grab some masking tape and take care of that before we start. Alright, there's your typical 2X primer. Let's see how it does with this one. That's this side. It is already too late. So this line is not an actual panel line. This line needs to go. And so since we can go ahead and remove this by wet sanding it and getting it smooth, because the top of the front portion of the P51, there's only two panels, so it's basically this one left side and one right side. That's the reason why there's a panel line in the middle with all the rivets. So this line has to go. Now on the back of the Top Flite manual it shows this line, so I thought it was a panel line, but well, I was wrong. I stand corrected. So it's a good thing that this is not at the final stages of paint. I can still go ahead and fix this. So now the good thing about this is that I get to see how thick this panel line is based on the 2 coats of primer that I got on here. So we're gonna go ahead and take this off. And I think we are good as far as the paint's concerned. I don't think we need to put additional coats. I think this one coat is good, or just two. Okay, so we got chart tape underneath this primer. As you can see right here, it's getting exposed. The reason why we don't just come over and start pulling the panel lines off, because we got a thick primer that's basically covering this tape. So if you were to pull this right now, all that hard primer is going to start chipping away, and instead of having a nice clean line, you're going to have all these jagged edges, and then you're going to have to go in there and painstakingly just kind of clean it out with your sandpaper and stuff, and you don't want to be spending your time doing that. It's enough we're already sanding. So I got a 220 grit right here, wet sand, and what we're doing is just basically, I'm not pushing down on my fingers or anything, I'm just letting the sandpaper do the work. Alright, so I'm not pushing down like individually in my fingers. If anything, I'm doing it all in a hole, trying to imagine it as a pad. So if you actually had a something like a pad, like one of those rubber sanding pads, you know, you can have support. That way you don't build, you know, any ripples and everything like that. But, you know, I've been doing this for decades, so especially automotive. So I wouldn't do this for paint jobs and stuff, but for an airplane, sure, why not? So, and then also we're cleaning our sandpaper. Okay, so if your sandpaper starts getting clogged, I have a Scotch Brite fine sand pad here, and I clean off my sandpaper with any chunks of primer that's stuck to it. That way I can continue sanding away. If you notice, you don't see this one right here. I put too much paint, so it's really covered to the point where it's almost flush with the tape. So this one I'll have to spend a little bit more time sanding this, but once it breaks through that chart tape, you'll see it turns, the chart tape will be exposed. There you go. There's the chart tape. Now you can, when you pull this off, it's going to be a clean, crisp line. What I am doing right now is basically removing the chart tape or the graphic tape, as you can see. Once you get it, as long as it doesn't tear, and so as you can see, what we got thus far, we got the top, we got the top end right there, on the sides, the cowl on the front. So what I do is basically I go right over that dot I made, and I just hold it there for a few seconds, just like that. Just hold it for a few seconds, lightly. I'm not pushing down hard or anything like that. Just let the heat melt through that primer and not the glass. We're not puncturing the glass now. Yeah, just like that. Now I think there's a rivet right at the, or a fastener at the end, so I'm gonna go off of this and just put one right there. It's not, as you can see in front of you, we got the horizontal stabilizer, and what I got going on here is I drew out my lines, and my lines is for my rivets. Okay, so you got the bigger diameter, it's considered the fasteners, and then the smallest diameter I think I can find is this small drill bit, and it's a little smaller than this larger diameter one. Okay, so that's what I'm using to simulate the rest of the rivets of the aircraft. Now, I'm not worried about the little screwdriver thing in the middle, the slit, or the Phillips and stuff. That this is a 60 size. It's small. All right, so we're gonna do what we got, and as long as it looks the part when it's all said and done, then I'm happy. So we got this pin vise here, and what I'm doing is I'm placing the this drill bit. Basically, this is the back side of the drill bit, right? The one that goes in the chuck, right? So I'm putting it down onto the line that I drew, and then very light pressure, just basically the tool, and I'm using the edge of the drill bit to create a subtle indentation, just like this, just going around, just following the line, and not pressing too hard because I really do not want to puncture the glass. I'm not trying to get through the glass, it's just the primer area, and plus this is just a drill bit, so it's not sharp, but if you put too much pressure, you more than likely can and will go through the glass. So this is what I'm doing. Now I'm just estimating the spacing like that. I'm a little bit off, but you know what? I'll just put it right here too. Okay, now the idea behind this is, of course, there's little indentations now, depressions now on my horizontal stabilizer. So when the base coat goes over this, the paint's gonna eventually fill these holes or these depressions, and then the clear coat's gonna also cover that as well. So it's gonna get built up. The paint will go in between, but it's still gonna leave a subtle outer ring. So when you look at it from an angle, it's gonna look like rivets underneath the paint.